The top 10 most infuriating things I've been told by self-proclaimed gamers / people who don't even play video games, but think they figured it all out and know better than you. That was too much for a title, but that's what this video is about. Every sentence you're about to hear has been turned into a core memory of mine. Some sentences came from the same person too, and it's probably the reason I'm not that mad to have played video games by myself most of the time. Well, most of the time, more like all the time, even for multiplayer games. I will go from one person to another and tell you what they told me. Person 1 and sentence number 1. There aren't even any good games being released anymore nowadays. A classic, even made a whole video on it in the past. Best part, all he's playing is Call of Duty and Battlefield, and gets the new shooter every year. Started God of War, but found it boring real fast. More on that later. Loved Red Dead Redemption 2 and loved GTA 5 and can't wait for GTA 6. He asked me multiple times for recommendations and I always give him good recommendations. Different games each time too, which always get followed up with number 2, does it have multiplayer? For a bunch of these I usually say no. Multiplayer is nice and all, but honestly, why do you even play video games at this point? It's like watching a series or anime that's ridiculously long, and even though you don't even enjoy it anymore, at some point you just continue to watch it because that's all you know. All I hear afterwards is just a disappointed sigh. And then I recommend him games like Splatoon or Apex Legends, but then happens a sentence like number 3. How on earth can you enjoy games that look like that? You have to understand this person, like specifically ultra-realistic first-person shooter games that also have multiplayer. He never plays the campaign because those are a waste of time. Which leads me to another sentence which I'll use for another person who said the same thing. But hey, person number 2 has also some bangers prepared. Sentence number 4. But how are the graphics? Came from a moment where I recommended someone No Man's Sky after he was gushing about Starfield to no end after seeing the trailers right before it released. He said that he hated how the game looked, but was willing to give it a try through Game Pass. He played it for a bit and said how much he hated the visuals. Saying that those aren't immersive took him out of the gameplay and went on how the visuals and the realism determines how much the devs actually care, and that if the game looks realistic, like Starfield, it's already a banger. I wish I was joking. Fast forward, it released, played it day 1, and never talked about this game ever again. Always telling me that if I asked him that he likes it, but switching the topic as fast as possible. That same person, by the way, is a VR enthusiast through and through, which leads me to number 5, but has the VR mode, which makes me now realize is probably also the reason he looked into No Man's Sky in the first place. He loves California Sunshine, shooting zombies and monsters and any kind of simulation like playing tennis, or sitting in a tank to shoot someone, or sitting in an old fighter aircraft from World War II. I also recommended Subnautica, which he played for 10 minutes and was completely indifferent to it. One day he was interested in the Nintendo Switch that I owned, and Breath of the Wild because of how people praised the game and everything. I gave him my Switch for a little while, and I asked him how he liked it afterwards. He said it's nice and all, but he has no clue what to do or what's the point of this entire game. He spent multiple hours running around on the Great Plateau and was hitting stuff and collecting stuff. He was stuck once in a spot. He told me he had done some shrines and wasn't able to get away, which made him quit. I asked him if he teleported like the game taught him. He said he had no clue you could do that. Which I followed up then asking him about the story and if he did what the old man told him. He said that he couldn't care less about what they talk about and why should it matter. I asked him how he wants to progress the story then. Number 6. Why should I care about a fictional story in a game that looks like a game for kids? It's not like it's an actual interesting story from a movie or something similar. Which is the same thing person 1 said to me. Person 2 loves movies and will even watch ones that have received horrendous reviews. He wants to watch all the movies and experience their stories. He is in the movie theater, I kid you not, probably every weekend. He also loves AI, by the way, and was telling me that I should be excited for the future as he is, when AI can create video games without having to wait years for a game. Realistic VR games with just a single prompt. I told him that it would take away part of the entire aspect of the art that video games are. Also, not just video games, but music and movies and just the genuine human touch. But he said he couldn't care less. If AI can create music he likes and creates movies he will enjoy, he'd hope that AI replaces just about everything. He already listens to AI music too and said there is one song in particular that is quite a banger. I feel like moving to the next person. I mentioned this story before in one of my oldest videos, where Pokemon Sword and Shield released, and a colleague told me that he is thinking about getting a Switch only for this Pokemon game. He played, from what I remember, only Warframe, Rainbow Six Siege and Fortnite on his PC. I explained to him there are other games on the Switch that he might enjoy, like Super Mario Odyssey or Zelda Breath of the Wild, Kirby Star Allies, or also the soon releasing Smash Bros. Ultimate. He told me sentence number 7. I'm really not interested in games like Mario and Kirby and all those kids games by Nintendo. Though Pokemon is a classic. How can you not enjoy Pokemon? Those are the best games they make. So he bought Pokemon and told me later how ugly this game is, and that it's the console's fault and all the games would look this bad because, well, if Pokemon looks like that, all the games will probably look like that, I think. And just went back to his PC games. Man, just some personal words here. I swear, I felt so lonely most of the time in my youth. I mean, I'm still relatively young, but whatever. Everyone just kinda judges you for everything. Those are just a fraction of the things I got to hear. Back in the day, before I even started doing YouTube, I thought about doing Smash Ultimate a bit more professionally. And I joined some Discord servers to train and find people that wanted to play with me. Once I said I like Xenoblade, I've been called a child. I don't think I can say such things on YouTube. But yeah, according to them, I need serious help, because I love children very much. After all, I collect underage girls in Xenoblade, right? And goon over them, that's just what we do. Just like Pokemon fans too, that are all furries. And people wanting Sora in Smash, that those people, and I quote, are autistic man-children. I thought the Apex Legends community was toxic, but the Smash community is. This is something else, man. And people still wonder why Nintendo absolutely despises the Smash community and does everything to shut them down. Honestly, I love Smash, and playing it competitively and watching also esport games happening, but man, the community is garbage. I left every single server, by the way. It kinda became unbearable. Going over to number 8. Every time I recommend another game, he always asked if that game is for PC. Because only plebs obviously play games on consoles, even though he loves Pokemon and bought a Switch 1 for this game, but whatever. And PC is the greatest thing in existence, because how can you play games in under 144 FPS? Hey, I love my PC, I love my 3080, and playing games at 120 frames on my OLED LG C1. I love my Switch 1 and 2 2 though. I loved my PlayStation 1 back in the day. I like gaming. I'm not sure why the platform matters, to be honest. I don't know, man. Honestly, this video was kind of just planned as me ranting about things I've been told in the past, but it kinda makes me sad, dude. The first time I was actually able to share my passion about games with people that shared the same passion was YouTube. And that's the only reason I continued. There are still countless people in the comments that tell me horrible things and judge me for sometimes pretty dumb things. I banned quite a few people, people that disagreed on every single video and every opinion of mine, telling me under every single video how wrong my opinion is and how I don't get anything at all. Some getting way more personal than that. But I guess that's just YouTube in a nutshell, or social media in that case. Number 9 is a bit more recent and from person number 4 now. I was talking with person number 2 about Xenoblade and he joined in and asked what we were talking about. And after I told him it was Xenoblade related, he said those games are utter garbage. And after I didn't understand why, because he rather instantly left after that, he told me that actually he just played one of the games for 20 or 30 minutes, not even sure which game it was. After also talking about multiple other games, he just said all the time that those are just garbage, and I learned that every game that simply isn't his cup of tea is just trash, and he also doesn't get why people play them. But afterwards he went ahead and told me that he really loves Zelda and 100%ed Breath of the Wild. And yes, he collected every single Korok seed 3 times. Yes, you heard that correctly. He's working on his 4th playthrough, where he also collects all 900 Koroks, and will do the same thing with Tears of the Kingdom soon too. Number 10 happened when another colleague, aka person number 5, told me that his girlfriend loves Zelda and was very excited about Age of Calamity, and couldn't believe that we receive another game in that world. I thought, hey, that's kinda cool. Warriors games are definitely more niche than Pokemon or Mario, even if it uses a bigger IP like the Zelda IP. Fast forward, I asked him if she liked the game, and he said, oh, she hates the game. Well, I asked why, and he responded with, well, it is not a Zelda game. Dude, I took a deep breath and asked nicely what she expected from a spin-off game, which also they marketed this way. It is a Warriors game. They told that. And also we had one in the past. He said she didn't know, and just saw Zelda and just bought the game instantly. This is crazy, man. This is like, holy smokes. Some people just don't do any kind of research, do they? How can you spend money just like that? Maybe it's because I grew up with not that much money, but how do people just spend money like that on whatever? And just maybe think about it later on, if at all. I'm sorry, but that's beyond me. If you're still watching though, one bonus thing I've been told in the past. Someone found out that I do YouTube and looked me up, came to me one day and told me straight into my face that my videos are mad boring. I kinda had to stop for a moment and asked him, well, what exactly was boring? And he told me I should focus on actual good games and more mature games, like a God of War or Elden Ring. By the way, I did mention in the past that Germany is a very PlayStation and PC Master Race focused country. Though I asked him what kind of videos I should create in his opinion. He told me I should do story explanations or gameplay tutorials. But don't you think there are already hundreds of these kinds of videos because everyone wants to make videos on pretty much successful IPs where sometimes multiple people work on a single channel? Well, just make better videos than them. He went ahead and told me how he knows better, and whatever. He figured out the YouTube game and how things work. Honestly, afterwards I just told him that he isn't my target audience, and respectfully I didn't care what he thinks about my videos. And yeah, what am I supposed to say? I don't know if that's just the German mentality that I already dislike in the first place. I just kinda get the feeling that many people feel really miserable in this country, especially elderly people around here, and they will give their all to make you also feel like that. If you like something, they don't care about telling you how much they hate it, or that your opinion is, in their opinion, wrong. And then people ask me why I have such a low self-esteem and hate sharing my preferences with others. People are so toxic, man. Maybe I simply was unlucky in life with the people I've met. Wrong place, wrong time, multiple times. I know this isn't the first kind of video I make, and I hope it doesn't sound like I'm just crying about it all the time. But man, honestly, I have no one to go to vent about it to. Everyone is just judging all the time, no matter what the topic is about. So yeah, for that reason, I'm just venting to people online with these kinds of videos. To people I don't even know personally. Ah well, it'd be like that. Feel free to vent in the comments about things you've been told in the past. Would be interesting to hear some insane takes from other people out there too. I thank you all very much for watching though, and hope I didn't ruin your mood with these. I hope you'll have a really good day. Goodbye folks. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.